Okay, so next topic that I must discuss with you, which is another type of sequence, it is tuple. What tuple is, if you want to know the formal definitions, I must say that tuple work exactly like a list. Okay, the behavior of a tuple is exactly like a list. A tuple contains sequence of items of many types. That means we can store the heterogeneous type of elements. The difference between list and tuples is the element of tuples are fixed. That means once you have created the tuple, you cannot add or delete elements or even shuffle their order. So as a conclusion, what we can say that tuples are immutable in nature. That means once it is created, it cannot change its length uh, and it's change its content also. Okay? A new tuple, definitely a new tuple can be created from an existing tuple to grow its size or to shrink its size. Either one we can do it. Okay, but we cannot, important difference between list and tuple is we cannot change in the content of a created tuple as well as we cannot change the size. So, and another difference between tuple and list is represented within a bracket, whereas the tuple is created using parentheses. Okay, so let me share my programming screen with you. Okay, so this is a programming screen which is based on tuple. So look, like list, we can create uh, a tuple, empty tuple, by giving a opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis, just like this. Okay. Passing elements, 11, 12, 13, 14. Third way is that without giving parenthesis also, a tuple gets created. If we don't provide any parenthesis, the tuple gets created. For T3, T5, and T9, the tuples get created without using parenthesis. Then T10, it's a nested tuple, like nested list. Tuple can also be nested. And what T11 says, that it can store the heterogeneous type of elements. So just let me run the code and look at the output screen, rather the variable explorer part. What I can say about T1, it's an empty tuple. Okay. What I can say about T10, it's a nested tuple of size 3. Okay. What I can say for T11, it's a tuple of 3 component and the components are mixed type of. Okay. Elements are mixed type of. What I can say about next T2, it's a tuple of integers 11, 12, 13, 14. T5, T3, without providing any parenthesis, we can create a tuple that I just mentioned. Then T4, what T4 is? Yes, that is the different thing. What the thing is, the T4 is basically a conversion between string to tuple. My string was computer. Now it is converted to as a form of a tuple. like this, COMPUTER. Okay. In the very next line, I have given another example that I earlier discussed also, that a list, a string can also convert it to a list also. That is, L1 is a list which is coming from a string computer. Okay. So each of the component of this L1 is the list, which is basically the each and every element of the string. Okay. Now, the question is how we can access the element? Definitely using index. And here positive and negative, both the index is used like list. If I print T2 3, what I will get? T2 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. That means my output screen 14 will come. Yes, look at the line, indexing 14. Okay. When I'm telling it is -2, that means definitely I will get 13. Indexing, it is 13, because in case of tuple, like list, it can be accessed in backward direction also. In that case, the indexing begins with -1 from very end, and gradually the uh, next element can be accessed by -2, -3, and so on. And we can use the loop for accessing the element also. For I in T2, print I. So all the elements gets printed, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Because the elements of T4 are nothing but the 11, 12, 13, and 14. So important thing, what we just discussed, that a tuple can be created by just an opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis, within which we can provide the elements. A tuple can be nested also, but how can we access the element of a nested tuple? Very similar to list. Just like if I have a tuple of T10 which is nested in nature. So if I write print T10, T10 is my nested tuple. So if I want to access 0, 1, 2 is the another tuple, 2, 1. So what I will get definitely? I will get 2, 1 matlab 2, 0, 1, 2. This is the second index, index 2. And index 1 of this element is 44. So we expect 44 will come into the output screen. Yes, we are getting 44. So this way we can access the elements, but we cannot change the element of a tuple. So that is the difference between list and tuple. If I want to modify T2 2 equal to 100, definitely it will give you an error, because tuple is immutable in nature. That means you cannot change the content of a tuple. Okay. So this is the basic fundamentals of tuple. And let me move back to our presentation. Then I will come again to this programming screen. Yes. So this is the tuple. Okay. So this way also 1, 2, 3, an unnamed tuple of values assigned to the values of another unnamed tuples. Okay. So this is the unnamed tuples. One tuple which is unnamed. I'm assigning this value to the another tuple which is also unnamed. And finally I print the value 1, value 2, value 3. Okay. What it is doing over here? Tuple 1 have 3 values, 100, 200, 300. So it is assigned to another tuple by this way. Okay. And we can write the expression inside the tuple also. 2 plus 4, 5 by 3 plus 4, 9 modulo 6. So one tuple gets created, value 1, value 2. 2 plus 4 will be stored inside value 1, value 2, and value 3. And when I print the value 1, value 2, value 3, it will give us 6, 2 plus 4, that is 5 by 3. It is 5.66 something, and finally 9 modulo 6, that is giving us 3. This thing I already discussed when I talked about the functions topic, that one functions can return multiple values, right? And if I store it in different variables, then it will store two separate variables, or rather multiple variables. But when we use when we store it inside a single variable, that variable will be treated as a tuple. That variable will be treated as a tuple. Just like it. Define max min, okay, which is basically returning maximum and minimum of vals. What vals is? Vals is a parameter which is which is returning the maximum value, because max and the min functions are the inbuilt functions of the Python. I'm coming to that part just after this. So I'm returning both maximum and minimum values x comma y as a form of x comma y. And this x comma y gets stored inside max marks comma min marks. Okay. So highest marks is max marks, min max. So this will return the maximum and minimum value. Okay. Okay. So if you, I have discussed this, that's why I'm not repeating this part. If you store this return value inside a single variable over here and check the variable type in the variable explorer part, you can see that the type of that variable will be treated as a tuple. Okay, so next we are moving to the another part of our discussion of this tuple concept. So this is creating of a tuple, okay, how a tuple can be created. Next, I already discussed how we can access the values. And like list, here also, we can use the slicing operator, okay. So when I'm telling the slicing operator will work between 3:6, that means 3, 4, 5 index will be printed, okay. So 3, 4, 5 matlab 0, 1, 2, 3, that is 4, 5, and 6 will come out into the output screen. :4, that means 0 to 3. 0 to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, that means up to 4. 4 : matlab 3 to last. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to last. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to last. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to last. That means 5 to 10 is coming. And nothing is mentioned, matlab. We already used it earlier. That is entire, as it is a tuple, so entire tuple gets printed. Updating a tuple. We cannot modify a tuple, that I already told, because tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable in nature. That means we cannot modify, we cannot change it. We have two operators like list. One of the operator is plus concatenation operator, which is used for joining two tuples. So this is the example, tuple 1, tuple 2. I'm using plus between these two. Tuple 3 is generated, and it is the joining of these two tuples. And multiplication operator is also present over here, which is basically used to replicate the elements. Okay, so two operator, that is one is plus, another one is multiplication. del function, del operator that we used in case of list, and we have seen that that using del, I can remove one single element as well as I can remove the entire list. But here, as tuple is immutable in nature, so using del, I cannot delete a particular element from the tuple. Okay. So del tup13 is giving you error because tuple object does not support item deletion. Whereas when I write del tup1, that means I am deleting entire tuple. So tuple gets deleted. And after that, if we print the value of tuple1, it says that tuple1 is not a defined object because it's already been deleted. Okay. So now the question is, if I want to delete a particular element from the tuple, so what to do? What to do? Another way is we can create another tuple by removing that particular element. How we can do it? Look, this is tuple X comprises with the element W3 resource, W3R source. Okay. When it is comprising the element W3 source, so I want to remove a particular element. Which element gets removed? Look, 0, 1 I am taking. In this syntax, it's a slicing operator. So nothing is here, matlab 0 and 1 will be considered. So 0, 1 matlab W3 will come. And from 3 to last, 0, 1, 3 to last. Okay. So R gets eliminated. So if you print and again store it inside tuple X and using plus operator. Plus matlab we already used, that is a concatenation operator. That is it, matlab it is used to join. Okay. So we are eliminating R, or rather we are deleting R from a tuple in this way. Okay. That is one approach. Another approach is we can convert it to the list by calling the list tuple X. So list X, that means this tuple is now converted to list. Inside list, we can remove any element by calling the remove function. So by calling the remove function, I remove the element C. And that is the updated or rather modified list X where C gets removed. Then we are again converting this to tuple. So these are the different approaches through which we can remove element in a tuple, as direct elimination or direct deletion of an element is not possible from the tuple. Len function, we already know what it returns. It's the length of the tuple. Then concatenation used, repetition, that means replication, that is star, membership present over here, that is in, iteration for I in tuple, already shown it, max, min, sum. We can convert a sequence into tuple, that I already used in my earlier example, last example, better to say. Here a string is converted to tuple or a list is converted to tuple. Then we can compare whether two tuples are same or not. If the content is same, then it will return that it is equal. So greater than, less than, equal to, these operators are applicable. These operators are applicable in case of tuple. So tuple 1, tuple 2, is tuple 1 greater than tuple 2? It is returning false because it returns Boolean. This operator returns Boolean in Python. So this I already discussed in my last example. This is also discussed. Index. What index method returns? It returns index of that. If the element is being searched is not present in the error, not present in that tuple, it will give an error. If the element is present, so it returns the index of that element. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, top of index 4. That means it will return 3. In the right hand side part example, look. Vavia, Ira, Falguni, Huma. Index of Falguni. It is giving the correct result 2, 0, 1, 2. Isha, it is not present in the tuple. So that's why when I'm using index function on it, okay, index functions on the student's tuple, it is telling that rather it is giving an error. It's telling X is not in the tuple. Count method. What count method does? Count object. Object matlab, I'm going to count that particular element. So how many times X appears? Tuple tup dot count that object name. I have to pass as a parameter. So it will return the 9 times X comes in the in this tuple. Okay. Top of count X. Okay. What is this? Already used it in my earlier lecture. What this thing is? This is comprehension, right? Expression for int. Expression for int. Return I into this. So I'm calling I'm passing a tuple as a parameter of this. And finally, each and every element will be multiplied by 2. And it will return what? It will return, it will not return a tuple. It is returning a list. That is a very important thing. It will return a list. Okay. Give function I will definitely discuss. Okay. Okay. This is the last topic that I must have to cover in the case of tuple. Diff function, but to say it's an inbuilt function that takes 2 or more sequence. And what it does is basically takes an items in a sequence from a number of collection to make a list of tuples. I'm once again repeating, it's an inbuilt function in Python. It takes item in sequence from a number of collections to make a list of tuples. Okay, where each tuple contains one item from each collection. Where each item is coming from one item from each collection. So what is the purpose of using diff function? It has basically grouping the element, or rather group the items of a sequence which has the same index. Here the example that is discussed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a tuple. And this is A, B, C, D, E, another tuple, another list. So both are the sequence. When I'm calling diff function between tuple and list 1, what you will get? You will get 1A, 2B, because index of 1 is 0 in tuple, and index of list A is 0 in list 1. So list 1 is a sequence. TUP is another sequence. I am passing to sequence. I have not mentioned that I have passed both the tuples or both the element as a list? No, I can pass any sequence over here. So here I passed one tuple, another list, and they are basically combining the elements in the same index. So we are getting as a result 1A, 2B, CD, 3C, 4D, and 5B. So in this regard, I am showing you a small code snippet. Okay, just a minute. Let me move to the program screen. Yes, this is my program screen. Yes, this is the one zip example I discussed with you. Look, there's one tuple, one list L1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, L2 is 11, 22, and this is the T1. When I'm printing L3, what L3 is, it's a list. Okay, you will get L3 and L4 as a list. In the first case, I have passed two lists. In the second case, I have passed one tuple, one list. So as a result, I am getting this. First case 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. And the second case, wow, it's an interesting thing. One I added that here, in case of T1, I have 3 elements, but in case of L1, I have 5 elements. I'm using zip function, but the length of the number of elements are not same in L1 and T1. So in that case, what you will get in the result? That is a very big question. You will get in the result as per the small or the shortest sequence. Which is the shortest sequence over here? T1 is the shortest sequence because T1 have the 3 elements, where L1 has the L1, yes, L1 has the 5 elements. So that's why when I'm printing L4, I'm getting what? I'm getting 1 ABC, 2 DF, and 3 GHI. 4, 5 is not present in the resultant list. Second question naturally comes, is this conversion is required very much? Answer is yes. If you don't convert it, so look at the type of L3. Look at the type of L3. First of all, you are getting a value that is a reference of an object, and the type of that L3 is showing it's a zip object. So it's a zip object. Until and unless you will convert this to a list, you cannot show the value of the zipped object. So that's why it's very important to convert this zip object to a list. Okay. So thank you. This is enough for doing the assignment. Thank you.